Okay. So every time I come by here, I remember it's just over 30 years ago, I walked out of this place on April 27th, 1994, having just spent the day talking to you and others who were locked in seg, had been locked in isolation cells by that time for almost 4 days. And I had just been told by all of the warden and everybody that what I saw I didn't see. Mm-hmm. That what I heard was a con, that you guys were all trying to con me, and that I was either stupid, had mental health issues, or was just trying to get attention, and that's why I was trying to raise the issues. And as you know, it took almost a year before that got out. It took you guys having to have your videos made public.
Court actions.
Court action. It took all of that. And I've never really talked about it publicly, but you know, I don't think you know, but I was actually fired during that time.
Oh, wow.
And I never talked about it because I knew it would divide our organization, but also would divide the women, right? Because the ones who were supporting you guys versus the ones that weren't. And so the Arbour Commission didn't just assist you guys. It meant that everything we'd been saying, you'd been saying, and I'd been repeating outside because you guys were locked inside, people learned who told the truth and who didn't. And that stuck with me. And I remember standing at the top of these steps that day as I walked out of the prison thinking, do I have what it takes to keep talking about this when everybody's calling you names and calling you a liar? I called Trish Montour, and she was great. She said, people call you names all the time, Kim, you know, so what's this? And but I remember standing there for a good 5 minutes. I had Michael, and I don't know if you remember, but one of the women, a lifer, was unlocked to look after him while I went into SEG. And the union threatened to go to the media and say during a riot, it wasn't a riot even by their standards, during a riot, a killer was unlocked to take care of an outside child. And I remember my first response was, go ahead. Some people think I'm crazy, but most mothers will know no mother would take her child into an unsafe place. And so, but I stood there for a few minutes thinking, uh-oh, like what do I do now? Do I have it in me to keep fighting this? Because it was clear it was going to be a big fight. And you know, it was your strength, it was the strength of Sandy, it was the strength of so many other women who are now out, who I thought, you know, if you guys are surviving in there, then the least I can do is take your voices out. And so it's 30 years since then. It's almost 50 years since Eddie Nayland died in segregation, ignored when he called for help. And then a year later, another prisoner in the same cell called for help. And at the back of this place, I feel it. My guts have been churning since I got here today because I feel it every time I see that cage at the back. I just hope they're saving someone, not taking someone somewhere. No, it's a fire truck, thank God. Yeah. Okay, so it's a fire truck now. You know, then after that, it became the excuse to create more max units in all of the prisons. Yeah. They doubled, tripled, and then quadrupled the max units. They put fences all around. They doubled down. And here at P4W, you'll remember Tona, who was here, who was part of the 60 scoop. They wouldn't even let her come out of her cell. They claimed she was so dangerous and violent, just like all of you guys. At some point or other, most of you were labeled the most dangerous or violent woman in the prison. And they created that cage at the back and locked her in it. And that's the only way she got, and that was after threatening court action yet again, that the only way they would let her have any kind of so-called recreation is they'd put her in the cage and take her shackles off and leave her there. And you probably remember that room in SEG where they put a hole in the door because they said that, you know, if you're the only idiot, that's what they said to me, who is willing to go in a cell without her being shackled, then we'll lock you in, then we'll bring her in. And they used to watch us on camera, and I remember Tona, like you would say to me too, they're watching us because they think I'm going to do something to you. And I'm thinking, well, if you're going to do something to me, just do it. That I had no doubt. I mean, the level of inhumanity that happens in these places, I think is, people can't even imagine. Even the people who work in here don't understand just how they lose their humanity and how they start to see you, by extension others, me, others who advocate as somehow less deserving of human rights or protections. And the other thing these steps remind me of is coming in with Michael. And Michael will be 34 soon, you know. You helped raise, all of you, he called you guys the mummies. You helped raise Michael. And I remember one day coming in for a family day. Maybe it was when you were DJing. Because you taught him to sing and dance.
Oh, yeah. I used to DJ, remember, sometimes?
Yeah.
On a stage.
Yeah. And you taught him to dance the Macarena.
Yeah.
And do, and, but we were coming in and he said, just wait, Mummy. And I said, why? And he said, just wait, because there's more people coming. And I said, okay. And so, and then afterwards I said, when we were leaving the end of the day, I said, why did you want me to wait? He said, because when all the families come in with you, they don't search them the same way.
Oh.
And I had never noticed, but he noticed. He said, you know, you insist on that we all get treated the same, and that means they don't treat them as bad. And I just, you know, I thought, you know, all the things that are humbling, that you learn from your kids, from the people who, you know, you go in, the idea is you're supposed to be assisting, but it's a mutual. Mm-hmm. It's mutual. I've learned so much from you and so many other women, and I continue to learn, and I continue to be inspired and provoked, and in a good way. Like when you tell me things I should be learning, those are important lessons. And so I want to thank you, and thank you for all that you've been part of in my life and the ways you've let me into your life at times, and taught me so much, because it means so much.
Right on, ladies. Right on, ladies.
That's the first time I teared up today. It's been very, it's a hard time for me, and I'm okay with it. Tears, right? Tears of happiness, tears of joy. Because you know what? There were times I didn't think I'd make out of here alive. But I was saying that when I was doing my live, I said I was the second last load to leave this prison, to close this prison. And TA was the last one because she had a PFE, 1998. And, but you know what? I knew these places wouldn't be better. I mean, you can put a fucking mansion. You can lock me up in a mansion. Ain't gonna make a fucking difference. You're still screws in there. They're gonna follow you. They're gonna be the same fucking way, probably worse, because we're being treated like human beings, like in a house, than being locked in a fucking box in a cell in a drum, right? And so there's really it's getting worse from what I gather from the women coming from these institutions, you know. And Correctional Service of Canada is the biggest entity of business in Canada. It's the biggest employment. And you know what? It wasn't for us women that had to suffer with the goon squad when they ripped our clothes off and we had to release it to the Fifth Estate. Yeah. All that. They wouldn't have no fucking jobs. We wouldn't be standing here today. We'd still all be locked up in there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So I thank the women that, I thank Paula, Ellen, all of them that were in there. Diane Shea, Sandy Bequajon, Claude Desjardins, and for them to do that to us and try to lie. And then they shipped us to KP. They opened a fucking unit for us. For what? We weren't doing nothing. We were locked up. We had no weapons in our cells.
Yeah.
Fuck, my bed was torn from the wall. If you look at that video, and they spliced a part of that video at the beginning. They had a staff thing over there, a big, what do you call that? And They had independent inquiry. I mean, they had an inquiry, CSC. Nothing. They lied. So we pushed for independent inquiry. We got Kim. We got a lot of good Leaf and all them to support us, and that's how the truth came out. And you know what? They didn't. They lied. They lied and said it was a riot. It wasn't a riot. It was a consensual fight. It started because they were trying to treat somebody like shit. So we were there. I said, let's go, man. You ain't going to do that again. Like when the guards want to throw you in a hole, they rush you. They rush you. Look at Karen, little Karen. I seen them dragging her to the fucking hole. Geez, and you know what? They don't care. And anybody that says guards care with that uniform that they were, they feel they are superior. They're above Creator, and they're not. And you know what? It's the most, no matter what. There was some people said it was good and bad times. Yeah. Good and bad, sad and happy. I had amazing times at Powell's Family Days and all that. I met some good people. And you know what? I don't regret doing time here. I got to meet all of you. I got to come here. Even though I was convicted for a crime I didn't commit, I'm still not going to admit it. And you know what? I came here for a reason. To meet everyone. Or I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't, what would my life be if I didn't come to prison? There's a reason for everything. Unfortunately, we all suffered for that change. And look at us now. There were times I'm sure you're laying in your cell. Oh, am I going to make it out of here alive? I wonder if my family's okay. All these demons come flying in. It hurts. That's the only place I could cry was in my cell. Because we had to wear masks coming out of our cells. We couldn't be us.
Yeah. Well, in fact, one of the nightmares I had last
sorry.
night that I was
emotional with that.
I hope this doesn't
No,
make you upset. But anyway,
I'm not upset. I'm just showing my tears, my truth.
Yeah, no,
man.
that's good. But last night, one of the nightmares I had was actually when I first talked to you after that.
Yeah.
And I said, Joey, what can I get you? And you remember what you said to me?
I don't.
You said a gun. And shoot me.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah,
thought,
that's
holy
right.
shit! And so then I knew, if you, who has always been really strong, felt that
Yeah, get me a gun
despondent
so I can
that
shoot myself. That's what I said.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Get me a gun so I can shoot myself.
and everybody was
Well, they make you feel
Yeah.
like you're in here. I mean, when you first come in here, they strip you right down to nothing. Bend over.
Yeah.
Spread your legs.
Yeah.
You
Degrade
feel
us.
so
Yeah.
dehumanized,
Degradation.
Evasion of my body.
Yeah.
They are just turning up all my clothes all together. Bend over, go sideways, do this. It makes you feel like you're in
Squat.
the
Yeah.
feel like you're in the jungle.
Shake your hair.
You're in the
Everybody still remember their FPS number?
890138A. No, that's my new one. Hold on. I have to really think on that.
257-193B.
My one now still is 890138A. A as in
295-3882.
A. A. What is your last letter of your FPS? Huh?
B.
D.
D.
B.
Me
You're
A.
B.
I'm B.
I'm A.
I'm F.
See?
must be the
It
secret.
came from the time, the
the
years,
secret
and Bobby was right
yeah.
after me.
It was
We were
D.
just months apart.
yeah.
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 But anyways, I hope everything is good. Thank you, Kim, for
Thank you.
opening that doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I didn't even remember that part there.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sorry.
No,
We're gonna
sorry
wind
about
it.
what? I liked it.
Thanks so much. Hey, that's okay.